today's discussion is about Mauryan arts and architecture. With the advent of Buddhism and Jainism in 4th century BC, the religious and social scenario of the Gangetic Valley was changing. Varna and Jati system was opposed by these two religions, and these religions gained patronage of Kshatriya rulers, as these rulers were grown wary of the Brahminical supremacy at that time. Well, influenced by these factors, Mauryan art can be classified into court art, and court art was basically for religious and political reasons, which includes palaces, pillars, stupas, and another bifurcation of this branch is individual initiatives, which includes caves, pottery, and sculptures. Moving on, if we talk about palaces in the Mauryan Empire were made in the capital, and the Mauryan capital was Patliputra of that times, and its palaces were located at Kumrahar, which is located 5 km east from Patna. As you can see there, the the photograph of the palace of Ashoka is shown over there. This is the 80 pillar hall there, and the pillar which was excavated from this side, the Kumraghar side. Okay, the archaeological remains of the Mauryan period, which dated around 322 to 185 BCE, has been discovered here, and this includes the ruins of hypostyle 80 pillared hall, which we talked about there. Regarding the nature of this hall, as far as nature is concerned, it has been variously assigned the palace of Ashoka. Some say it was the audience hall, some says it was the throne room of Mauryas, a pleasure hall for conference hall, or yes, the conference hall. As far as this aspect and this theory is concerned, they say the third Buddhist council was held at Patliputra in the 3rd century BC during the reign of Ashoka. Ashoka actually gave the patronage to that conference of Buddhist council. Well, if we talk about the specification and the various features of the pillars which were found in the excavation site of Kumraghar, all the pillars were made up of black spotted buff sandstone monoliths. That means a single stone was used and it was converted into the pillar by polishing with a lustrous shine which was very much typical of the Mauryan period. The excavation findings here date back to way back in 600 BC and marks the ancient capital of Ajaatashatru, then after that Chandragupta Maurya, and then later on Ashoka. Scholars suggest that the palace of Chandragupta Maurya was inspired by Achaemenid palace in Iran, which were the rulers of Iran in those times, and in these palaces and buildings wood was used as a principal building material. That is why the most of the remains of these palaces is not survived. The Megasthenes have given the description about this place in his book Indica. And who was Megasthenes? Megasthenes was a Greek ethnographer and explorer in Hellenistic period, and he was the author of work Indica. He was born in Asia Minor and became the ambassador of Seleucus I of the Seleucid dynasty. If you remember, just brush up your ancient history, whatever source you are reading from, and he became an ambassador to Chandragupta Maurya and Patliputra, India. And the various residential buildings and Mauryan palaces have some specific features, like gilded pillars of Mauryan palace were adorned with golden vines. It is a kind of tree which and the silver birds. The workmanship of the imperial palace was of a very high standard. Even Fayan, who was also a visitor in the ancient time, he said that no human hands of this world could accomplish this. Probably there were some similar palaces in the other cities. All towns were surrounded by the high walls with the battlements and ditches with water to, protect the capital at the time of attack or at the time of siege. These ditches and battlement walls were bearing lotuses and other plants, and the whole city was surrounded by railings. Okay, now we'll discuss the Mauryan pillars, which are having a peculiar importance in this ancient art and sculpture and culture. These pillars were used as a symbol of state or to commemorate battle victories. Ashoka also used pillars to propagate imperial sermons as well. And as far as their height was concerned, average height of these pillars were around 40 feet. The pillars were usually made up of chunar stone because it was the nearby palace where they can procure the sandstone for making these pillars. The pillars comprised of 4 parts: long shaft, a capital. The long shaft was basically made up of a single piece of stone, and on top of it lay the capital, which was either lotus shaped or bell shaped. As you can see, this is the long shaft from here to here, and this was the lotus shaped capital. The above the capital of this lotus shaped capital, this was the rectangular base which was known as abacus, on which the animal figure was placed. Now, the example, this is a specimen from a famous specimen from Sarnath, and no, not from Sarnath, I'm very sorry. The famous example is from Sarnath. That pillar was found in Varanasi. The pillar was built in the commemoration of first sermon given by Buddha, and we also call this event as Dharm Chakra Pravartan. I'm having some dogs barking behind me. Do you have any dispute, guys? Seriously, I'm telling them truth. Okay, nevertheless, moving on. And if we talk about national emblem, our national emblem is taken from Sarnath pillar. It shows 4 animals. It shows a galloping horse, as you can see over here, a bull there, an elephant, and a lion. Well, guys, this is it for the current lecture, and in next lecture we'll be discussing other features of the Mauryan art like stupas, cave architecture of the Mauryan period, along with the sculpture and pottery of that era. Till then, thank you for watching this video, and please do visit our website decipherias.com, and do like our page, which is given here. The address is given there. Till then, thank you, bye bye, see you, and do take care of yourself. Do good.